have with me Juliana Smith. Like, Juliana, you are amazing and incredible. The amount of work that you've been doing over the past few years, your journey. I know you are chapter 11 in the book, and it's a very interesting chapter because you talk about coming from Brazil and now living in the UK in Manchester and having a very interesting career with lots of changes. So,
Yes.
I mean, tell us what you're doing now today.
So today, I work as a reporting lead in a
Mm-hmm.
construction engineering company in the UK. So I kind of lead the development of reporting solutions within project controls, project management,
Mm-hmm.
environment. So it's kind of what I do. Uh, Easy.
Yes.
We talk about data solutions, reporting solutions, Power BI,
Mm-hmm.
whatever happens to be there that we have just to get on and figure out how to do. So a bit of being a wizard.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that's what I do as a paid job.
Yes.
But I don't identify myself as my job.
Yeah, definitely
So I
not.
do. So I do. I like to speak more about my outreach work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a STEM ambassador, so I
Yes.
volunteer at schools and museums here in the UK, helping to my biggest aim is helping to demystify STEM.
Yes. Yes,
And
definitely.
I think a little bit of that is on my chapter that I
Mm-hmm.
kind of tell my difficulties. And I think those difficulties are still seen as barriers for
Mm-hmm.
women to actually want to follow that kind of career.
Yep.
So I that's for me that what has really motivated me in the past. It'll take 3 years because I start having like kind of some sort of crisis
Mm-hmm. We all
what
do.
I want to do, and it has really kind of I have like an objective, right? I don't feel
Mm-hmm.
lost anymore. I know that whatever I do my paid job, well, we all have bills to
Mm-hmm.
pay,
Yes.
but I kind of fulfill my needs to actually have a good impact and to give back to my community
Mm-hmm.
through outreach work. So I think yes, that's me. And I'm
Because I
also a
know,
mother,
yes,
a
yes.
wife. I look after the house. So
Everything
bit of
rolled
everything.
into one. Everything rolled
Yeah.
into one. But I know you do a lot of work as a STEM ambassador. You've been representing quite a lot. You do so many things with Power BI as well. Amazing. Very, very much amazing. And I know you have the STEM demystified, where you highlight information for other people within the industry, people who want to get involved in STEM, kind of highlight some of the things that they're doing. So, thank you so much for that. And for, having that space on that platform so other people could actually get more information on that. So you are doing a great job with that. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
But
you.
tell
And you. And you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah, we all have to do our bits and our parts involved. But tell me a little bit about why you wanted to write this chapter, because in this chapter you go all the way back to Brazil and starting off the different things that happened. So tell me a little bit about why you wanted to write this chapter and what inspired you to write chapter.
I think I think I have a couple of reasons, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
when we are a bit more mature and we
Yeah.
look back in time, right? We kind of see all the mistakes we've
Oh yeah.
done, rather
So
because we
many.
were inexperienced, we're not guided. But I wanted to be proud
Mm-hmm.
of who I became and what I've been
Yes.
through. And I always felt, oh, I've never done anything significant.
Oh.
I've always been very good at not recognizing. I always thought, "Oh, I'm never gonna be a leader. I'm gonna be a follower." So it was a really interesting exercise for me to accept myself, accept
Mm-hmm.
my journey, and even healing, right? Because I've been
Yes.
through a lot,
Yeah.
and it was quite shaming too because of some experiences I had. I felt
Mm-hmm.
quite like ashamed. It happened to
Yes.
me, and I don't want to be ashamed. I want people to know that it happened
Mm-hmm.
and something has to be done to stop it, because I know a few things
Yes.
still happen in some industries. Uh, so I think that was kind of, I have a voice and I want to say what I've been
Yeah.
through, because I don't want people to go through. When I say people, it's not only girls, it can be anyone,
Anybody.
right?
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to go through what I've went through. Although I'm really, really happy I went through what I went through,
Yeah.
because that's how I
You
became
learned.
who I am
Yeah.
today. So also, like, be proud of your journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay if we make wrong choices, if something didn't work out well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of the journey,
Yes.
and everything that we live help us becoming who we are.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I could not have said that better myself because I think basically every experience that we have is an experience to teach us something for the future. And whether we in that moment, whether we realize it or not, um, it's something to help us to progress. And once we decide to learn from it, because sometimes we don't learn from it and we do it
Yeah.
again and again, um, it helps us evolve a little bit. So I'm so glad you shared that, like in your chapter. And I know you were talking about being a navigator. And I think it's such an interesting field that a lot of people don't know about. Can you tell us a little bit about that field? Like,
Well, I was a navigator, but not a navigator of any ship. I worked
Mhm.
for marine seismic operations.
Yes.
So marine seismic operations, we kind of mapped the ocean bottom to see where
Mm-hmm.
was more likely to find oil and gas.
Right.
And as a navigator, as a marine seismic navigator, I was responsible for uh, pretty much put the ship where we're supposed to be, because we had like an area prospect that we have to
Right.
acquire data, and put the equipment where we're supposed to be, and steer the ship. Responsible for, I don't know, there are various things we have to do as navigators, but
Mm-hmm.
pretty much was making sure that the data acquisition
Mm-hmm.
was happening in the right place. And of course, we had captain, we had the
Yeah.
maritime crew,
Mm-hmm.
and they were ultimate. They say, Julian, you stop doing. They take control. I just
Yeah.
don't argue. It was quite teamwork
Mm-hmm.
was it was part of it, because you have
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
departments, and although we have different objectives, we're all working for the same project. We're all
Mm-hmm.
working together. So for me, it was quite a learning curve on that as well.
Yeah.
It's not only me, right?
Mm-hmm.
We work together. We work for the
Yeah.
same company, and it's interesting because I try to kind of do the same when I work in corporate.
Yeah.
And you feel like, why are we fighting?
Yeah.
We
Shouldn't
work on
be.
the same company.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting how teamwork it is super important in that kind of industry. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not so much, it feels
Yeah.
different corporate. And that actually was a difficulty I'm still overcoming in a
Yeah.
corporate environment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's marine science and navigation. That's pretty much in a nutshell. It's a lot,
Oh
I
yeah.
remember I had over 30 different screens that I have to monitor
Wow.
while steering the vessel. So
No pressure at all. None.
no pressure. And you have to do like real time decisions. Oh, the current
Yeah.
change. What am I going to do? You have to do it.
Yeah.
So that was real pressure. A mistake, you could
Yeah.
just it's
Yikes.
acceptable. I remember reading one of the procedures we had.
Mm-hmm.
One of the procedures we have to do on board, we had some current meters on the bottom of the vessel.
Yeah.
And the procedure that we had a risk assessment because we could
Yes.
potentially sink the vessel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Yeah. Sink or swim.
I
Oh
love
my.
it. It was a really, I was, because my background was in oceanography and major in
Mm-hmm.
physics. And it was extraordinary, everything that
Yeah.
I learned at university to actually see happening. It
Yes.
was I face a lot of issues, a lot of challenges, but it
Mm-hmm.
was so fulfilling.
Yes.
I was just like, that's why I went to university.
Yes.
That's why I studied. I'm here and I'm so happy. So when I think back, I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy I did it. At the same time, I feel like, oh, maybe, I hurt my hands, work
Yes.
related, and
Yes.
and a limit to what I can do nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So at the same time, you feel like, oh, maybe, if
Mm-hmm.
I had an easier uh,
Yeah.
job, maybe my hands would be better. And, it's bittersweet. It's definitely
Yeah.
bittersweet for me.
Oh gosh, yes. But tell us, like, I mean, you talk about studying oceanography in your university and then being able to apply it. Like, what would you say to get more people involved in STEM? Because you're not doing oceanography right now. You've kind of switched, like completely turned around. You turned the ship around. But tell us a little bit about how you would get more people to be involved in STEM.
Think the beauty of STEM is, regardless what you do in STEM, opens so many paths. Not because, like, I don't work in the ocean. I live in Manchester. We don't have not even ocean here, right? But the skills that you acquire, that you develop because you're studying, right? So I have
Hmm.
to do a bit of statistics, and it
Right.
was crucial when I became a navigator, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And now I work with other type of data, but having that knowledge, even position on data that I work
Yep.
with, I know it kind of gave me the skill sets to kind of transfer to a different
Mm.
industry.
Yes.
So that's the beauty of STEM, because you start to
Yeah.
think you're going to do something, but even how technology is evolving,
Hmm.
right? Roles are appearing out of nowhere.
Yes.
And I feel like it's halfway there.
Yeah.
Although I do know quite a few people who work with data and they didn't have any degree at all.
Right.
So I think it's really important to emphasize that if you want to learn and do boot camps or whatever, it's also definitely a good path. I taught myself the tool that I
Yeah.
use nowadays. I
Right.
didn't have a university, but again,
Yeah.
uh,
Changes.
you can shift, you can change your mind, and whatever you do today at university, you don't have to stick with that for the
Nope.
rest of your life. If it
Nope.
doesn't make you happy, get out.
Yes. Yes. I love that piece of advice.
Don't be unhappy.
We can definitely work with that. But I know you have a lot going on, so I want to just thank you so much for your time, Juliana, for your energy, for putting all that information in the book. Like, you did an incredible chapter. It is really nice to see that transition and like see all of the things that you're doing right now. So thank you for that.
Thank you
Definitely.
very much for the opportunity to write the chapter. It was an incredible experience. And thanks a lot for all your work you do to help
All good.
empower and support women in STEM
Oh
across
yeah.
the globe.
Across the globe. Yes, definitely across the globe. So if you haven't checked out Juliana's chapter yet in Empowering Women in STEM, the third book, check it out. Very interesting stuff. We can't wait to see and read your chapter. All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Juliana.
you very
Bye.
much. Cheers. Bye.